Let your mind be occupied by giving attention to that which is wonderful in your life. Too often we're trained to focus and think feelingly and imagine about our problems and how things could get worse. But you must discipline the mind. Give thanks and praise that it's easier and easier all the time to discipline the mind, to start thinking positively. And it doesn't mean you have to be toxically positive and fake these feelings. But just whatever emotion you're feeling, still discipline the mind that you will give thanks and praise, not allowing yourself to go into some spiral of negative self-talk. Because if all time is now, you are sowing the seeds of the future when you are thinking feelingly and imagining these things that you don't want to experience. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about thinking fourth dimensionally. This today is going to help you understand how you can look past the 3D. No matter what your circumstances are, no matter what you're experiencing in this moment, you can go beyond that from the fourth dimensional perspective of the inner being. Of course, we teach here on this channel that your imagination is God, and that is the one who creates your reality. What you are imagining and thinking feelingly throughout your day is always going to come up in your world somehow, some way, matching the same intensity with which you think feelingly and imagine it. Oftentimes we get impatient on our manifestation journey. We say we want what we want right here, right now. And this is ignorant of the fact that all time is now. Although we have memory of the past, an idea of the future, the only moment that exists is right here, right now. So allow yourself to adopt the perspective of the fourth dimensional self, not limited by time, which makes it seem as though your desire is not yet fulfilled. If all time exists here and now in this one moment, then what you desire also exists here and now. It's yours already. But when you allow yourself to be entangled with the world of the senses, believing these facts of the world, which Neville Goddard called the stones, then you are stoned to death. You let these facts overcome you. And that is why Jesus said, "Unless ye believe I am He, ye shall die in your sins." Sin is missing the mark. That means you have an aim in life and you have not achieved it. He's not telling you to believe that He is the one and only Son of God. He's telling you to believe that you, as yourself, already have everything you could possibly desire. It is within you. It is your wonderful human imagination. But you might be going about your day allowing yourself to think, where is it? I want it right now. How come it's not here? Am I doing the right thing? Maybe I need to watch 1,000,000 more videos and get 100 new techniques. Maybe if I do the 3-6-9 pillow whisper method, I can get it by tomorrow. And please don't ask me what that is in the comments. You don't need another technique. What you need is faith. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. When you imagine and feel into the reality of your wish fulfilled, then you remain faithful to it by not allowing your mind at any time to think, where is it? When's it going to come? All of these things that imply that it's not already here. Remember, Neville Goddard said, "The power of every imaginal act is in its implication." What you're thinking feelingly is an imaginal act. So if you're thinking feelingly, where is it? I want it so bad, then you are not keeping the faith. This is why watching the mind is arguably the most important aspect of manifestation, or spirituality as a whole. Because if you allow your mind to run rampant, you're going to be returning constantly to the state of wanting and desiring. And the state to which you return most often constitutes your dwelling place. If you're manifesting, be honest and ask yourself, what state do you return to most often? Do you feel most often that you have it and you don't have to worry about your desire? Or are you in the state of desiring and wanting and needing it? It's okay, but you have to make that switch. Let your conscious mind be the watchman at the gate, not allowing anything that implies your desire is not fulfilled into the feeling nature of the subconscious mind. Now remember, when we say to feel into the fulfillment of your desire, we are not talking about emotion. There may be an emotion involved, but it's mostly acceptance that what you desire is already fulfilled. Goddard illustrated that point wonderfully in his book, Feeling is the Secret. Too often we're thinking that we need to be in this pumped up, ecstatic emotion 24/7 to be loyal to the state of the wish fulfilled. This is not true because that very well may be unnatural for many of us. I'm sure there's something that you wanted so bad for so long, and you finally got it, and maybe a few days or a week later, you took it for granted. You wouldn't even think about it. If you thought about it, you would know that you have it and it's yours, but you wouldn't be thinking about it 24/7. You're not ecstatic about it 24/7. I'll give you a personal example. I bought the newest iPhone right after it came out, and I was told that there would be 5 weeks until it would get to my doorstep. Of course, it's not all that different from the model that I currently had, but I was so excited to make videos with higher quality, it felt like I needed it. So I allowed myself to imagine that the package was delivered early. I ended up getting it in 2 weeks instead of 5. But the truth is, a week later, it's almost like I didn't even get a new phone. It's just a part of my life. That is the feeling of naturalness. So don't worry if you're not constantly in an ecstatic emotion or joyful or the most insane, tears in your eyes grateful. All you really have to do is watch the thoughts in the mind. Because the truth is, you can only complain from a three-dimensional perspective. You can only desire from a three-dimensional perspective. When you acknowledge that everything exists here and now in this moment, allowing yourself to think, where is it? I want it. I need it. When's it going to come? Did I do this right? Is allowing your mind to return to the old state. We're told, put off the old man. That is your former way of thinking, and put on the new man. This is rising up to a higher level, which we're always told to do throughout the Bible. You're told to transcend your current state of consciousness and rise to the level where you will not accept anything that implies that your desire is not fulfilled, not even your own thoughts. It's okay to feel upset, but don't let your mind run rampant. Too often we'll be upset, and then we use that emotion to drive ourselves into a spiral. You must be disciplined. Emotions are normal. You're a human being. You can feel ecstatic and you can feel pissed off. Be angry, but sin not. At least by the time you go to sleep. Revise whatever it is. Revise the emotion. Don't allow your thoughts to run wild, thinking all these thoughts from the perspective of desiring, because then you're going to be stuck in 3D. Your circumstances may suck. That's how it is. It might suck. But only as you're able to deny it and give your attention to God, that is your imagination, and the state of the wish fulfilled, will you be able to see your desire fulfilled physically. It seems so backwards and it doesn't make any sense to the logical or rational mind. But we are not talking of anything logical or rational here. This is the power of God, and it's yours to use if you know how to use it. Remember, watching your mind is the most important part of manifestation because you are constantly manifesting. This isn't only occurring when you have something that you would think of as big, but it's always happening. If you're at work and you're going to leave at 5 o'clock and you think to yourself, oh, the traffic's going to be terrible. It's going to take me forever to get home. I hate to tell you this because it's such a shock when we realize that we're the cause of every phenomena of our life, but you are the cause of the traffic you experience. Allow yourself only to think that which is lovely and you would like to experience. If you watch your mind for 24 hours, you will be shocked at what you're entertaining. Because of our programming, we are constantly thinking thoughts of things that we don't want to experience. So instead, think, I'm so happy that there was no traffic today. I got home right on time. Use manifestation for everything because it doesn't stop as you think you are. Instead of having all these negative thoughts, if you catch yourself, simply drop it and think, what is the most lovely thought I could have right now? Just drop a lovely thought into the pool of your mind and let its ripples create an effect in your physical world. How loving can you be to yourself? Can you give yourself gratitude and thanks and praise for doing what you do every day? Can you acknowledge things that you maybe are taking for granted in the moment that they're happening? Can you give thanks for your toothbrush and your toothpaste? Things that not everyone has. And it's not that you need to compare and say, other people don't have this, so that's why I'm grateful. But just acknowledging everything that you already have. Let your mind be occupied by giving attention to that which is wonderful in your life. Too often we're trained to focus and think feelingly and imagine about our problems and how things could get worse. But you must discipline the mind. Give thanks and praise that it's easier and easier all the time to discipline the mind, to start thinking positively. And it doesn't mean you have to be toxically positive and fake these feelings. But just whatever emotion you're feeling, still discipline the mind that you will give thanks and praise, not allowing yourself to go into some spiral of negative self-talk. Because if all time is now, you are sowing the seeds of the future when you are thinking feelingly and imagining these things that you don't want to experience. So no matter what you're going through, if your physical experience is telling you a million ways that what you want can't be, that you'll never have it, let it all go and imagine a wonderful scene that you would experience if it were actually true now. Don't make it mechanical. Set up the scene. See the person in your mind's eye that maybe you're conversing with. Hear them say congratulations to you and experience it. Let the natural feelings and reactions of the scene come out through you and you will see it come to pass. If you have difficulty visualizing, just hear the voices. Listen as though you heard. That's how Neville Goddard put it. Is there some wonderful news you would hear about someone being healed? Would you be overjoyed for them at the miracle that occurred? Feel it now and then drop it. From that point on, if you find yourself thinking, where is it? Or anything out of alignment with the fulfillment now, flip that thought. You don't have to work up some crazy emotion, but simply get into the acceptance that it is done. Do this and you will realize your every desire. But practice patience. Impatience seems to be one of the sneakiest thoughts that are out of alignment with the wish fulfilled, because it can trick you into thinking you're doing something wrong. It can trick you into thinking that it's not going to come or that this doesn't work. Give thanks and praise to yourself, your inner being, the imagination, God, the subconscious, that you have perfect patience and that all things are done easily and effortlessly. And it will be. So, everything is within you. You don't need it, but if you find it valuable, check out my website below where you can get my book, Doing God's Work, my specific person manifestation guide, or book a one-on-one call with me. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time. Take care.